Hello YouTube, this is Christian Nomad. I decided to do a spot video of some stuff I've been thinking about, some things that I want to do. I was going to give you a little history of the stuff we went through last winter, and because I wasn't real clear on my last video. So rather than sitting there and have the camera pointed at me and you know, looking at my ugly mug while I'm talking, I figured that this would be better. You could see the scenery and what there is of it. It's mostly snow. But I want to start with, you know, I was hoping I could get on the road sometime soon, and then reality kind of slapped me in the face, and I realized that I got obligations, and I'm not going to be going anywhere for probably about 10 years. I got both financial obligations, and I have children. They're still one's in college, one's in high school. So I'm kind of waiting until some of that settles down, and then I'll do that. And then in 10 years, I'll be retired off 30 years, so I'll be all set. But I'll only be 56, so that's not too old to start retiring. It's fairly young, I think. So I plan on going a lot of trips, though, and I might even try to take some unpaid time off, even to extend my vacation days. So we'll see how that goes, but I wanted to start with some of the things that went wrong last winter with the RV. Sorry, anybody got any traffic circles in where you live? These things are terrible. Crazy. I got like 4 of them I have to go through to get back to where I'm going. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, so the first thing we ran into is we bought the motorhome, and we had it sitting in the driveway. And we were renting a house for, it was like $1,300 a month. And both my kids had left and moved in with their mom because it was closer to school or whatever. So we were sitting there with basically an empty house. And I'm thinking, why am I spending all this money for a 3-bedroom house? So we wanted to downsize. So we bought the RV. We were going to live in that and travel with it and do all kinds of fun stuff. Until last winter happened, but anyways, so we had it sitting in the driveway for about a week, and you know, I had put some stuff in there, and then a week went by, we got busy, so I didn't do anything, and I went back out there again, and all of a sudden the light wouldn't come on. I'm like, oh, what's going on? I looked and I noticed there was no lights on anywhere, so I go grab the keys, went to start it, wouldn't even turn over, wouldn't make a sound. Batteries were dead. Well, I did that's when I started with YouTube, because that's when I started doing some searching, and I found out there's 2 battery disconnect buttons on my Class A, and that's what they're for. It's so that if it's going to be sitting for any amount of time, you want to shut those batteries down so they're not being drained. Apparently there's little energy draining devices in there, like the carbon monoxide detector that's in there, and the propane detector. Those are always on, so they're draining power. So as it was sitting there, the batteries were fully charged. In 1 week, they were completely dead. So that was the first thing. Then after that, we were going to have them drop a propane tank when we moved to the lot that we were staying for the winter. And they delayed it for a while. It was like a week before they finally got out there and dropped the propane tank. Well, my onboard tank was running low, and I didn't want the pipes to freeze, so I was kind of using the electricity heater inside instead of the propane heater. Well, that's all well and good, and I had a propane heater in the lower level compartments, what the Class A people call a basement, and that was fine, except I didn't realize that the heater and hot water tank that runs on propane actually keeps the warm side warm. So the side of the pipes that run underneath the RV heading to the hot water tank, those cold pipes are actually kept warm by the residual heat from the heater and the hot water tank. That whole compartment's sealed up. Well, I didn't know that. And we froze some pipes. That cost us quite a few $100s to get that fixed because they had to dismantle. It was a nightmare. So we had that fun. Once I got the propane in, then all of a sudden we were fine. You know, because I was able to run the heaters. That whole section was fine. The next thing that happened, though, was the winter got really bad. I'm talking, we were at -17, -20 degrees. You know, the high was 2. And that little heater we had in the basement just couldn't keep up. It was just drawing all kinds of power. And it melted the feed line going in, the 30 amp feed line. It melted both ends. It melted the end at the other pole, too. And luckily it didn't catch on fire, but it was a mess. So we had to replace all that. And then when I replaced it and then I looked at that little heater and I plugged it in and listened to it, it was making all kinds of rackets, so we threw that away. Luckily I had a spare. And then when we got this winter, and I had heard that it was going to be as bad as it is, actually. I had heard it was going to be as bad as last year. I said, that's it. We're going to move into an apartment for the summer. Or for the winter, I mean. And then we'll move back to the RV in the summer. So that's what we're doing. That's a little bit of a history. I'm going to stop this video now, but I just want to let you know. We're going to... I think we're going to go on a few mini trips here in the winter. So I'll have some video from that. But it may not happen till March, so have fun. Thanks for watching. See ya.